All right, Rube, man. We've been seeing you everywhere. We understand Fanatics Fest is going to be just a one-of-a-kind experience. But you know what it really is, bro. Everybody wants to get to a Michael Rubin party. This is like a Michael Rubin party for the fans.
We're going to make it a Michael Rubin party. We are. I feel that responsibility. We're going to make it incredible. The thing is with this, though, I don't know how no one ever did like a sports festival in any real way. Like we have it like, I went to Coachella this year. I've been to South by Southwest. I've been to Comic-Con. Like so many other industries have great sports festivals. Nothing like this in sports. So it was kind of like, we have to do this.
But this thing has gone from sort of just being a dream and to now it's coming to fruition and people are now asking to be a part of it. I know Stephen A is going to get an opportunity to sit with Tom Brady. We as the Pivot will sit with Roger Goodell. What has it been like for you to take what you've done from a social standpoint and bring it together in this type of convention for the fans?
Yeah, look, I love to dream big, and to me, you just have to like come up with big, bold ideas, and then go to try to make them happen. And sometimes they work great, and other times it's a disaster. Right. Like I've been on both sides of that. I will tell you that we don't do a lot of events. People think they see the white party, they see the Fanatics Super Bowl party. Those are really the two big events that we do. We did Casino Night together for the Reform Alliance that we have. But other than that, this is like a big undertaking for us, and I couldn't be more motivated to start something that I think in 10 years I'd like to look back and say, wow, we have Fanatics Fest everywhere in the world. They're in China, they're in Japan, they're in London, they're in Germany, they're in Los Angeles, they're in Brazil. That's what winning will be for this, because like the great thing about sports is you wouldn't have done what you do. You wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for sports. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for sports. And sports fans are the most passionate people in the world. And so I think we can create something that's never been done before and create this, kind of incredible sports festival party, bringing together, all the sports properties, all the leagues, all the teams, all the athletes, all in one place. And I think there's probably not another company that could help orchestrate that more than us.
Just looking at some of the names, when you have guys like Derek Jeter that will be there, and you're continuing to work to put bigger names on stage and giving people opportunities to take pictures. There's going to be collectibles. You are daring to be great in a different way. How scary is an undertaking like this when you mentioned sometimes you could take big swings and fail?
I'll tell you something about my personality. Anytime I do something for the first time, I'm actually like completely on edge till it goes off perfectly. So the first time I did the white party 4 years ago, like all I kept thinking is everyone going to show up in the Hamptons? Like, are people really going to come for this? Like everyone's telling me they're coming, but like, are the planes all going to land at the West Hampton Airport with everyone who committed to come? And sure enough, it was spectacular the first time we did it. The first time I did the Super Bowl party, it was only like a small dinner. It's grown into what it is. I think this year at Super Bowl in Las Vegas was the first year I was ever not nervous about our party because I had so many people killing me to come. The only thing I was nervous about was trying to keep everybody out of the party. Right. It is New York City, which is great, but a lot of people are coming from all over the world to do this. And, we try to make good asks of people, not too many asks of people, and to do things that will be great for them. But we're going to have 200 different professional athletes coming together for Fanatics Fest. And again, you mentioned some of the biggest people in the world, whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's Big Papi's interviewing Derek Jeter, whether it's Peyton and Eli Manning, whether it's Kevin Durant, whether it's Anthony Edwards, whether it's my guys in the Sixers like Allen Iverson and Julius Erving, or you just go through so many incredible athletes coming together. The one thing I've learned is athletes really love connecting with their fans, and fans really love connecting with their athletes. And I think Fanatics can really help facilitate that, and I think this will be that.
What's great is, we mentioned in the parties and the different things that you put on from a Fanatics family standpoint, and that's what it really feels like. It feels like you bring people in and they get to be immersed in what you've created, but you are going to have the Nova Knicks. They're going to have a panel. You're going to bring together some of the NHL's best as well and have people who are there who are just fans of the sport, but also superstars and entertainers in their own right. What has it been like for you to have this dream years ago to build this company and think about collectibles and those things, and now to be able to bring the different pieces and families and parts of Fanatics all together for the fans to enjoy?
Look, I have the single greatest job in the world. I do this 17 hours a day, just about every day of the year, and I love doing that. People will make fun of me and be like, yo, like, what do you do for fun? I'm like, what do you mean? My job is so fun. Like, that is fun. You see, when you were, your white parties, that work for me? Is that fun? That's like, I mean, I think it's fun. By the way, I think it's fun, but you see all those people around. A lot of those people are really important to what each of us do in our day job. So I'm honored to do what I do. I think the most exciting thing for me is I watched the Nike movie, what I think it was called Nike Air, maybe a year ago. When I watched that movie, I went and I Googled how old was Phil Knight. I think he's 85 now.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm 34 years younger than he is. And I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. So I feel like I'm still at the way beginning of a game. And we're in 3 businesses today. We're in our original business where we started in the merchandise business. We're in the collectibles and trading card business. And we're in the betting and gaming business. And for me, I think we're just getting started in each of them. And the one thing that's super neat too, by the way, is in merchandise and collectibles, we're kind of a real market leader. In betting and gaming, we're the underdog.
Right.
And I love being an underdog is fucking fun. Like having people bet against you is fun. We only started taking bets in September of last year. We're like getting real traction because we've built a great product. They trust the Fanatics brand. And on top of it, we haven't even begun to leverage all the resources we have to make the experience that much better. So it's a long-winded way of saying I love what I do.
Yeah, okay, so August 16th to the 18th in the Javits Center, fans are going to have an opportunity to experience something for the first time of its kind. What will Michael Rubin be looking most forward to presenting to the world?
Well, I think the first thing I want to do is do something that's never been done before and have it be good for everybody around me. So sometimes you can do something that's never been done, but it's unnatural. And so you're like, well, that was too hard, or was it worth doing? I want to do something where people come through, and the 100,000 fans that come through this, like, man, I had the time of my life. This was incredible. I'm going to be there from before it opens every day till after it closes, all 3 days. I will not leave that place. I want to be there to just get input from fans. What do you like the most? What do you like the least? What should we change about it for the future? And from an athlete perspective, we have a big announcement coming. Not ready to do it yet today, but we have 200 athletes that are coming through. And generally when an athlete comes to any type of show, they want to figure out how do they get in, do what they need to do, and get out. Yes. We're going to make it so people want to come and hang and stay. Because, we might even create like a little type of white party within
I like that.
The Fanatics Fest, where people just want to come hang out and be there all day. So I think this is a place where, I want you to come and not say, hey, I got 2 hours of work to do. I want you to be like me, say, I want to be there before it opens. I want to be there till it closes, because the interactions are so good and there's so much value in what we can do. And there are a lot of things I'm not good at, but one of my strengths is relationship building. And to me, anytime I do an event, whether it's the White Party, whether it's the Fanatics Super Bowl Party, whether it's Fanatics Fest, I want to help foster relationships. And I think we can do that between athletes and business leaders. We can do that between fans and athletes. There's so much relationship building that come out at Fanatics Fest as well, which makes me really excited. Plus, I also love embarrassing myself. So I'll run the 40-yard dash against you. You'll beat me by like 30 meters.
First off, we're going to both pull hamstrings, so we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure the fans
I'm gonna try
get the immersive experience.
But I'll still try once, because
right.
Why not? Right before we started, I was just looking at my phone, and I realized all the people that are making fun of me because I posted my pitch yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but I threw a pitch. It was, do you see it?
Yeah, it's better than Stephen A's, though.
I don't know. This was pretty bad. Did you see mine?
Yeah, you got to go watch Stephen A's.
Okay. I knew I was a better athlete, but actually, I'm probably not.
You mentioned us running the 40-yard dash. By the way, y'all, he volunteered. I did not. I no longer compete ever or at all. I just want you to know that.
Oh, now we got to compete.
Yeah,
if
we're going to do it, we're competing.
Are you spotting me 10 yards in the 40-yard dash?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
absolutely not. That's not the way business works.
Perfect.
Okay, but you think about the slap shot with the NHL. You have all of these different interactive experiences that bring together each of the sports. What was the idea behind that? Because so many times when a fan is sitting in his house, he goes, I can do that. So now you're going to give them that opportunity.
Yeah. Well, first off, it really started from me going to so many trading card shows when I was a kid and loving doing that with my mom and dad. And then I went to a big trading card show a couple of years ago, the big one in the industry called the National. And the amazing thing about it is they have more than 100,000 rabbit collectors that come to the show. And so that's amazing. But the show hadn't really innovated in the past 30 or 40 years. It didn't look so much different than when I was a kid and would have gone there. So, having seen that, but then seeing Comic-Con and seeing Coachella and seeing South by Southwest, you want to build something really incredible and great. So you say, what is that? What makes incredible and great? So you and I have both been to the Super Bowl, the MLB All-Star, the NBA All-Star. Each one of these leagues
has a showcase.
Right, they have a showcase. And so if you go to the Super Bowl, they have their Fan Fest. And if you go to the MLB All-Star that I was at 2 days ago, They have their own kind of fan fest. So I want to take the best parts of each league into Fanatics Fest. So for the NFL, you'll be able to run the 40-yard dash and be timed, but you'll also be able to see the Lombardi trophies and a bunch of Super Bowl rings and have some other great experience with the NFL. But then with baseball, you can go to the batting cages and get up there and go to work. In hockey, you can do slap shots, and in soccer, you can do penalty goals. In the UFC, you can go and see how hard can you punch. In WWE, probably the one I'd be best at, both wrestling and maybe coming out. Like, you can do the superstar entrance and come out literally like how the superstars come out. You can pick your entrance, come out just like the superstar, and get that on video. So it's super cool. So we try to pick each league and each sports property and pick the best part of what they would do in their fan fest and bring it here, and then overlay that with 200 athletes. By the way, we're going to have each day a 2,500 person stage. We're going to have like big interviews that happen. Then we're going to have the whole podcast area. We're going to have interviews in the middle of it. I know you guys have great interviews coming. And our whole goal is just to bring all the people that build the sports ecosystem together in one place. And then followed up with still a great collector show as well, because that's what gave me the idea was trading cards. We have a big, how do we bring the best things in trading cards together? And also lots of exclusive products. We've got a big announcement coming about someone who designed a product that people are going to go crazy for. There will be 1,000 people online, to get this product because the product's going to be so interesting.
Well, you talked about the products being interesting, the immersive events. You can get to the collectible size. Obviously, there are going to be so many panels with so much wisdom from these accomplished athletes. How in the hell is this all going to fit in one place? How do we figure out where the things are, how they're located, and what was some of the thought behind placing things? You know what?
Well,
I'm going to get a map.
Here's the good news that I want you to know. There are places where I have strengths and there are places where I have weaknesses. And my strength is having some vision and trying to put it all together. My weakness is to be able to read and also know how it's all going to work. So we got a great team here at Fanatics Fest. They're going to make it all work. But this is the map here. It's pretty cool. Shows you what's going to happen here. So you got a bunch of athletes with the photo zone here. You got the autograph zone over here.
UFC, NBA. I love the way that everything is spread out too, and where it shows you WWE is here, the MLB, the UFC. Just looking at the many different names of the sports leagues, that's already crazy in itself. But to have collector zones and collector sponsors, how did y'all figure out, okay, how we're going to separate these things? But what made you think these are the places and these are the entities we need inside this building?
Well, we went to all of our big sports properties that we work with and said, hey, we're going to launch this incredible sports festival, and we need you to be part of it, and come bring the best of your sports property into Fanatics Fest. And that's why I have the NFL, the NBA, UFC, MLB, WWE, NHL, MLS, etc. But then we said, well, what else would people want? Trading cards is really important, but we didn't want this to be the show. We want this to be a key aspect of it. So here you see the collectors, sponsors, the collector's zone here. And so you see this is probably maybe 25% of the show is about collectibles and trading cards and memorabilia versus the entire show with a lot of other people. But then you've got lots of other brands here as well. So you've got the Fanatics Sportsbook, you've got the Giant Superstore, you've got Topps, you've got New Era, you've got Mitchell & Ness, you've got Lids, but then you've got art here. So we really want to bring so many different things together. And here's the great thing. When everyone comes through this, what I'm going to be thinking is, what did we not get right? What can we do better for next year? What are we missing? How do we bring more to it? And I'm going to go home. When I go home tonight, I'm going to be calling people to get more people to come. Because, to me, we're not done until kickoff. This thing kicks off August 16th, and I'm going to keep one by one getting more people involved with this. Last week, I called a couple of people who are giant social media influencers who said, hey, here's what we're doing for 3 days. You're going to come through. Just station here. Be here for 3 days. There's going to be so much great content. So every day this show gets more and more exciting.
Well, for me, I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm probably more excited about this than I was the white party, because I love being around people, getting to work with them, getting to learn from them. And the white party, I'm just going to be honest, people weren't really trying to do a lot of work there.
I would say the work.
It was more fun than you're letting on.
I tried to work for the first couple of hours, but my job right now, the white party, is for every 20 shots that could put in my hands to put 19 down and drink one. I got to be honest with you, I'll have more fun here than ever as well, because I get to see our vision come to life and to be able to create the sports festival and then think about, okay, When's it going to Los Angeles? When's it going to Tokyo? When's it going to China? When is it going to London? When's it going to Brazil? Like, when can we do this in all the different big markets?
Well, I think this is going to be amazing. August 16th through 18th, Fanatics Fan Fest, New York City, because you already heard the man is going to London. We're going to go to LA. This will be bigger than just one event, but August 16th through the 18th at the Javits Center in New York. Can't wait to see you all there.
And this is our first time. Never done it before, but you know what? You got to dream big. And if you don't dream big and will it to existence, it doesn't happen. So we start Javits August 16th, 18th. But then we say, okay, how do we make it better? Where's next? That's what we're going to do. And so it's going to be fun.
But I'll tell you this, you sold yourself short, though. You said it's the first time you've ever did it. This is the first time anybody has ever done it.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, Fanatics Fest NYC, I can't wait.
My man.